Welcome to Radioactive Real Estate. My name is Jason Ekman. I'm with Jack Real Estate Services. Next to me is the best sound engineer in the business, Jacob Stoll with Stoley Productions. We just call him Stoley the producer. Our goal of the show is to bring you topics that are centered in and around real estate investing, and the housing market overall. We bring in guests each show who are working in their field to give you relevant information that you can use right away in your life and in your business. This week, our topic is home inspections, which should have been done earlier, but sometimes it's just a scheduling thing, Stoley. And to give us all the information we need to have success, we have our special guests this week, who are Kat and Jim Schweitzer. I screwed it up already. Schweitzer. Did I say that right?
Schweitzer.
From Win Home Inspections. They are a husband-wife team and owners of Win Home Inspections. They are full-time home inspectors. They've been in the real estate business now for 20-plus years as remodelers, investment side, restoration, property management. Did I miss anything else there?
Home inspections.
Home inspections. With away we go. Well, guys, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and getting in. So let me ask you, like I said, I start the first question right away. So what is the one thing you want people to know about home inspections that you just think they don't know? Like everybody kind of always asks, like, is there some kind of question that somebody always asks?
Well, they think we're going to have the seller of the property fix it once we find it. Oh. That's not my job.
Right.
We're there to inform and educate them and get them comfortable with the home that they're going to purchase, and then the information that we find, they're going to take it back to their real estate agent and use that information to negotiate or to figure out, the next steps in the home purchase process for them.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, because I know, because obviously I'm an investor, Jacob's an investor, we do this on this side, but if you're not an investor or you're just getting into investing, what's the difference between I'm going to buy a house and I need a home inspection because I'm going to live there, I'm going to put my family in there, as opposed to I'm going to go buy a house as an investment? Are there different types of inspections for that, or are there different things you're going to say, like, hey, look, this is important if you're going to live here, maybe not important if you're not going to live here,
right.
Those type of things? Are there differences between those with that kind of variable?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we offer a couple of different inspection options there. If you're an investor, you can have what we call a 4-point inspection, which looks at all the major components, your roof, your HVAC, your electrical, and your plumbing, and reports on all the conditions of those major high-cost items. So the other thing we offer is a walkthrough inspection, where we will walk you through as the investor everything, including some of the less costly items, so you get a good idea of what to expect for your remodeling cost.
Okay, so if I'm doing just a 4-point inspection, we're not worried about what the floor covering looks like.
How many holes are in the wall,
if
the windows open and close.
Whatever. We're just looking at major components.
The expensive things.
That I know if I'm going in there as an investor, I'm going to be like, look, you got to get this plumbing figured, or you got to go back to your agent and get this plumbing figured out, because this is an issue. But we don't care. You're going to replace the carpet anyway, so why look at it?
Exactly.
Okay. So that's good. So now, what are some things, we're doing the 4-point inspection, what are some things I should look out for before I even call you guys to know, or, I know I need to call you, but what do I for sure need to look at to know, okay, I got to get a home inspector on this? Because there's a lot of people who, after a while, and I'm guilty of it too, I'll tell you that, Stoley, don't do what I say, not what I do, right? Is I'll get out there and I'm like, oh, I've seen this a million times. I don't need to call a home inspector. I can just do it because XYZ and I'm brilliant, or, whatever people think in their head. What are some things to look out for on stuff like that we absolutely have to see, and hidden things that I would never see?
Yeah, probably one of the biggest things is looking for polybutylene piping, which is the gray piping, the dreaded gray piping.
Yeah.
So you want to look for a specific stamp on the pipe to verify, what it is. If it's PEX, if it's CPVC, if it's copper, it's typically okay. But polybutylene will be a problem because most insurance companies will not insure your property if you have polybutylene piping, because it's known to have had issues in the past.
Yeah.
So you want to look for that as a key, item. You're going to have to replace it, so it's going to be a big cost item for you.
So you're talking repipe the whole house at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. That's a repipe for most cases. So you may find some insurance companies that'll cover you, but it's going to be an extremely high premium for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that, because you're going to have to go get insurance to buy the house, and if they know that you might not get coverage.
That's right. That's right.
And it's something that you could change later. Like say you agree that you're going to go ahead and purchase the home with that, and you're going to be insured at one rate, and then once you have it replaced, then they will adjust your rate.
Okay.
Yeah, you just want to know. I mean, that's a big item for you to have to invest in if you're not planning for a repipe. You got to set aside some money for that then.
Yeah. Well, on a fix and flip for sure. I mean, if you're counting plumbing is fine, and you get in there and it's what, $5,000 to repipe a house ish.
Depends upon
Yeah, it depends on the
Depends on the size,
yeah,
I suppose,
yeah.
right? But let's say it's five. I mean, those are going to move your numbers quite significantly.
Very
Yep.
much, yeah.
The other
That's
thing you
not a
wanna-
surprise that
yep.
you want to have later on.
Yeah.
The other thing you want to look for is the type of panel you have from an electrical perspective. There are certain panels that insurance companies, again, do not want to insure. Those are
Okay.
Federal Pacific. It's an FPE. You'll see the stamp on most panels, FPE. You're going to have to replace those. There's some others too, like Sylvania, ITE, that are known to have some potential issues too.
Okay, so what are the issues? Do we know what the issues were, or just it's in the past? They just know we don't bother with it.
Yeah, failures. So they
Okay.
basically fail to trip. They will overheat, cause potential fire damage or electrical shock hazard. So
Now, is there, because this is where I'm out of my element, I don't mess with electricity and I don't mess with plumbing. I did mess with electricity once. My whole left arm went numb. That's a whole nother story.
Just one time.
Just one time.
It was enough.
Let me tell you, 220. That's that'll get you. Yeah, just a whole nother story for a whole nother show.
Yep.
But what are the boxes, I guess, that you should look for? Is there a certain one, like you go in, or is it just anything but FPE and we're good?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, you want to stay clear of FPE, and the other one is a Zinsco also has problems. So those are the two biggies. There's some others that are not ideal either. But most of your other ones like Square D, Eaton, things like that are going to be typically in good condition.
You're all right.
Yep. But we'll look for things inside the panel too to make sure that they're safely wired. So we look at the wire gauge, we look at the whether it has aluminum wiring in there, things like that. So
Okay.
Yeah, because aluminum wiring also can give insurance companies pause for,
Yeah.
Yep.
Insurance. And a lot of this always goes back to, can you get it insured? Can you
Yeah.
get it, if you're going to remodel it, rehab it,
Right.
can you resell it and have an FHA inspection
Yep.
come
Right.
in and pass that kind of inspection?
right. Or a
and things
VA
like that.
loan is also,
VA loan.
yeah. I mean, everybody would like to have a cash buyer with no strings attached.
Well, that's another show. Yeah, that's another show. So you're working with agents all the time, and I've had this happen. Okay, well, for this scenario, we're going to say Stoley's our buyer because Stoley bought a condo. I don't know if you guys know
Congratulations.
that. Yes,
Yep, great.
he's literally in
Did
the
you
process.
change the batteries in your smoke detector?
Not yet.
You need to do that because you don't know the last time they were
we
changed.
we haven't closed. He hasn't closed. I shouldn't say we.
That'd be
he
a
hasn't
nice
closed on
housewarming gift for him is some new batteries for his smoke detectors.
Some C batteries.
Well,
That's
hopefully,
They might be
I think,
Usually
9
9
I think when
volts.
this
9 volt,
this
yeah.
episode drops, the listeners, I think I'll
You'll have
have
everybody?
closed by then.
Okay, good deal.
Well, I can spring for $10 for a housewarming gift for batteries. That's right in my price range.
Well,
right.
actually, if the
Perfect.
smoke detector is original to the property and it's over 10 years, you probably want a whole new unit because smoke detectors really only have a life expectancy of 10 years. So for peace of mind, to make sure he's here each and every day you need him, a whole new smoke
Yes.
detector unit with a new battery.
Did you put that in your rehab cost?
I will now.
That's a low cost item though. So it's a good safety item, but
Yeah.
low cost.
Now, don't forget a carbon monoxide monitor either.
Okay.
It's just a
he
lot
needs
of,
it.
yeah.
These
If
are
he
good
needs it,
things.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah. You want a pen and a piece of paper so you can write all this down?
gonna do it right now.
All right, nice. Okay, so where I was saying is, we'll say Stoley's the buyer, I'm the agent, and you got, you go, you do your reports because you got to do a report by law, basically, right? Yeah, I got to get something back. That's
Well-
Yeah, home inspection does require a report. I mean, we do have some options where we can, waive the report, with your agreement and just kind of walk you through everything. So,
Okay.
yeah, as an investor, that's usually an option people like.
Yeah. So, but let's say I'm working, with a client. Stoley's my client. I've literally had some home inspectors go out and they detail so much stuff that it almost scares the living Jesus out of the buyer.
Right.
And they're like, "Look, it's not that bad." I mean, they list everything. I mean, what are some coaching points that you can tell? If I'm an agent, I can tell my buyer, or I'm an inspector when I'm looking at these type reports to know that even though you list everything, some of it is of major importance. Some of it is just
Maintenance.
maintenance.
General
Yeah.
routine, being a homeowner. And
Right.
If the buyer's on property with us, I try to get a sense for their comfort zone. Like, are they freaked out by caulk, or are they like, yeah, I'm ready to rip this wall down and see what's behind it? So we will approach everything that we find in the property, gauging towards how they will handle it. Because there are things that is just general routine maintenance, like caulking around your bathtub to make sure that you don't have a leak that's going to create a more expensive issue later on, versus you've got wood rot on several sheets of your roofing decking, and that needs to be addressed. But we also approach it that everything can be handled, and it's all something to negotiate through the purchasing price as well. And we also try to let them know who they should talk to about hiring or who they're going to hire to take care of that issue, so that they have a plan to go forward. We can't quote prices because everybody has a different range of, I always say there's a good, better, best way of doing everything.
Sure.
And what I consider to be good might not be your good, it might be your best or something like that, or what you have the budget for.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, basically every house, even a new house, you're going to find some kind of an issue, no matter how good the builder is, because you use subcontractors. I mean, things just get overlooked. So you're going to find some minor things no matter what. So just keep that perspective in mind. Even if you're buying a house that was just built, you're still going to probably find a few minor maintenance items that need to be taken care of. So keep it in perspective. Make sure that you're not overemphasizing things that are not a big deal.
And it's a house. It's really a living thing. I mean, it changes. When we're there to inspect it, we can only tell you what's happening at that day and time, and in 2 days it'll be different. Somebody's mowed over a sprinkler head and now you've got a geyser in your front yard.
I've never really thought about it like that. You just assume it's there and it's going to be the same all the time.
Yeah, and if you have a water issue,
it's
a leak, I mean, that's going to create things that will potentially, grow worse.
Right.
If a sprinkler is hitting the house and a door or a window is left open, now you have a new problem if you're not aware of that,
And these are all things we kind of walk the buyers through when they're with us so that they'll kind of keep those things in mind.
Yeah.
So
All right.
just general, ideas to, help the home stay in good condition.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so now we're going to go to the point in the show. Stolle, you ready?
Yeah.
What are we calling this segment now? we don't even know. We used to have Stolle's 5 rapid fire questions,
So,
but Stolle changed it on me. So now I don't have a title because Stolle got late in traffic this morning. So we didn't have time to go over 5 Stolle's new names of stuff.
so this is kind of just, to give the audience a sense of, more who you guys are personality wise. They're completely random questions. They have nothing to do with real estate.
Fun stuff.
They used to be sort of base level questions, but I
It's up to his game.
am they're
That's
more
a great way to put it. It's up
Bring
his
it.
game.
up my game.
Bring
So
it.
I'm gonna ask you guys 3 questions this time instead. They're gonna get you thinking a little bit. So, first one. How would you define genius?
Learning from mistakes.
Okay.
I was going to say, I'm not sure we have enough time. I'm not sure we have enough time to go over
Yeah,
some
I'm
of
gonna
these philosophical
say
questions.
some of these
Stolle.
questions are gonna get you thinking.
I like your answer. That was good.
Yeah.
How much do you think language affects our thinking?
Significantly. So I think, it has a lot to do with, everything you hear gets processed differently. So putting everything in the right context makes a
And-
huge difference.
And body language, too.
Yeah, and body language is good.
So all kinds of language.
Right. Okay. Okay, this will be the last one. If all your memories were erased, what kind of person do you think you would be?
Probably not alive.
Not
Because-
very aware.
you wouldn't remember what you learned from your mistakes, or you'd just be repeating. Like in that movie Groundhog Day, where he just keeps waking up the
Bill
same.
Murray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But his memory's not erased.
I know, but it's like you
And-
just keep moving.
An endless loop.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think I'd like that.
Yeah. You won't have any reference of
No.
experience. and-
Right.
yeah.
It just kind of exists.
That's all. That's all that.
I don't know
was.
if there could be happiness.
We're going to go with Stolle's 3 deep
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 dive.
philosophical questions.
dive
Yeah.
philosophical questions. We're going to have to.
Yeah.
We need a psychiatrist
get a little better
sponsor
at
this
this,
section or
for
something
sure.
like that, or somebody like.
Yeah, I'd like to preview the questions next time.
Yeah, like maybe like Huntington Learning Center or somebody where they're getting really smart to come in and sponsor that part, because that's deeper than I'm going to go. That's for sure. So I'm pretty surface level over here, man.
Hey, I don't. No offense, I don't really care what your favorite color is. So,
Well, that one we can answer.
Yeah, that's
Well,
I'm gonna
yeah,
go with
that's
navy
easy.
Blue. I mean, come on. So
I'd have to go with purple for
purple,
mine.
yeah.
Blue.
Blue. Good enough.
There you
All
go.
right. Well, guys, let's Stolle, that Stolle section. We love that. That's why we call him Stolle, the producer. Let's get into the last section here. If there's like a couple points you want people to know or something they should be looking for, and I got to go get a home inspector to do, whether it's an investment property, my own home, or things like that, what should I be looking for in a home inspector when I'm going to go hire somebody? I mean, are there certain criteria that you would look for? I mean, if you're going to hire somebody, I'm sure there's
Right.
certain criteria. What are those things that the listener can say, hey, I need to ask these questions and I make sure I'm getting the right home inspector?
I think insurance is key. If you're getting a really low cost inspection, they probably aren't paying insurance for either their vehicle, themselves, for their realtor coverage. And like we have a drone that we use to do roof inspections with. We have insurance for that. The liability insurance.
Now, is there a way, can I ask you for that?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
you
And
can.
how much it is. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, just ask for, are you insured, and how much are you insured for?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So,
Question I never would have thought of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because if something happens on property to either the buyer or the realtor or us, we're liable. It's just
We can be,
We
yeah.
can be. So we've got coverage for that. We've had situations where the drone decided to be all done flying, and we were praying it didn't come down on somebody's car. So it's
Okay.
that's something. And then I think you want to make sure that they're licensed for the state that you're in, because each state has different guidelines. We see in Florida, where being such a popular retirement destination, that a lot of people, I was a home inspector in Michigan, and I'm going to do that down here in Florida. Well, Florida has some different things going on than homes in Michigan.
Right.
So,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, so you want to just, I guess, do your due diligence about if they're licensed and how long they've been inspecting in Florida.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, if you get a chance, call and talk to, the potential inspector. Just make sure you're going to, have a good rapport with them, because it's important, that we communicate well, as part of the process of inspecting.
yeah.
Gotcha. So I have to know this because you guys are in the home inspection business. Now I've walked through some places where I need some 8-inch soles and some things
The
like that.
heebie-jeebie house.
The heebie-jeebie houses. So what's the one thing that sticks out in your memory when you think heebie-jeebie house, like you had to do? What is it?
The craziest.
Well, I know it's going to be Snake House for you.
Yeah,
so
but that wasn't heebie-jeebie.
It wasn't heebie-jeebie, but there
from
was a garage
disgusting.
full of like 150 plus snakes.
Holy crap.
Plastic bins.
that did not have locks on these bins.
Oh, so they were keeping.
They
the
were
snakes.
like somebody
they were
selling them, I
selling
guess,
them.
like a
Yeah.
snake raiser, a
Yeah.
snake farmer.
I didn't
Well-
know
A
that was a
snake
thing.
breeder.
Yeah. Well, the funny
That's the
thing
word,
was Jim was
crazy.
was so excited when they raised the garage door. There was like this fancy car in the garage. I'm not into cars, but they're like oohing and ahhing, and they're like, oh, it even heats the garage for this fancy car. And I move on, and then he's like, you're gonna love it. It's your favorite thing in the garage. And I look at all these bins, I'm like, oh, they're organized. I love organization. He's like, get up closer and look at what's inside those bins, and you can see through the plastic the movement. All snakes. And let me tell you, they could have like poked their little nose out there and pushed that drawer open and been all over the place.
Yeah.
That house did not sell either because the buyer of that house was not impressed either about what they were storing in the garage.
Yeah.
It might have also had something to do with the fact that they had a hot tub on the enclosed back porch and never ventilated it, so the ceiling was kind of falling down.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
That's
But-
right.
But
Jim,
yeah,
what about you?
snakes give me
Snakes for
heebie-jeebies.
cat?
Ugh.
Anything for you?
No, I haven't really seen anything I think that was too overwhelming. So
You're just a wily veteran now, right? And
Yeah.
nothing phases you.
not too much. I get into crawl spaces, into attics, so you see everything, but everything's been what you would expect. So
Nice.
Well, you expect to a certain degree. It's like,
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see buckets under every
Well, true.
connection
Sometimes you
of the
find
solar
creative.
panels on the
Sometimes you
ceiling.
find creative solutions, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the
Creative
prior
solutions.
Yeah.
homeowners have put in place. Yeah.
We like creative solutions.
But not
so-
heebie-jeebie.
Remember, there's
things,
always
yeah.
a good, better, best way of taking
Yeah.
care of
good, better,
everything.
best. Not so good.
Not so good.
All
Might
right,
be
guys.
good in your book.
Well, is there anything I should have asked you that I didn't ask you? Anything you want to make sure we get covered today that you're just like, heck, you should have asked this?
I will just say that if you are preparing for a home inspection on your property, we need to be able to get into the attic and into your electric panel and not move refrigerators for it or not move piles of boxes of Christmas ornaments. So be ready for a home inspection by having these areas open and ready for us. So that's
Yeah, that's something that gets overlooked a lot. So
Yeah.
you gotta, people are storing a lot of things in their garages. They're preparing to move, and
right.
sometimes we need help from the sellers to move the stuff. So
Yeah. So that we can get a thorough inspection and that
Yep.
the buyer has all the information that they can keep moving forward with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Stoli, you got anything for him?
No,
You're good with your 3 questions today?
I am.
All right, good. Well, guys, for anybody out there, at least in the Central Florida area, if they need to get a hold of you or if they just have questions, and people can listen from anywhere in the country, what's your contact information? How can people get a hold of you?
So we got a couple different ways. You can always go to the website, which is wini.com, winnie.com. You can search for, all the wind home inspection companies around the country. Claremont for us is our home base. So, and you can always reach us at 352-450-5016.